Welcome to a new effort here on the RV Miles YouTube channel. If you're a longtime listener of our America's National Parks podcast that we produce every week on any podcast app, you know that we set aside one episode a month for news from the national parks. Well, we're going to start bringing that information here to YouTube, all the latest information about America's greatest treasures. But first, this video is sponsored by L.L.Bean. L.L.Bean is a proud partner of the National Park Foundation, and you can help them support the parks by shopping their limited edition National Park Collection. Every time you purchase products from the National Park Collection, which includes totes, shirts, hats, patches, and more, you're helping to protect, restore, and improve parks across the U.S. Search National Park Collection at llbean.com and be an outsider with L.L.Bean. Well, COVID-19 continues to affect the operation of the units of the National Park Service throughout the country. And it's no more evident than at Big Bend National Park. A member of the park's residential community tested positive for the coronavirus. That triggered measures in the park's COVID-19 response plan, and it shut down the park immediately on Thursday morning, July 2nd. Only employees and residents will be allowed in and out for the time being at Big Bend, as well as the neighboring Rio Grande Wild and Scenic River unit. Up at Glacier National Park, the Blackfeet Nation has entirely shut down to visitors, effectively closing the eastern side of Glacier National Park for the rest of this season. Residents of the 1.5 million acre reservation that's adjacent to the park in northern Montana have higher risk factors than the general population. The closure means that access to Glacier will only be through the west side, and that visitors planning on driving the Going to the Sun road will have to turn around and head back once they reach the eastern end. At Yosemite, the National Park Service has walked back plans to reopen campgrounds. Reservations for all campgrounds have been canceled through July 31st arrivals, except Upper Pines, which is open to 50% capacity. But COVID-19 hasn't been the only difficulty for national parks this past month. Fires have been raging in several states across the nation. The north rim of the Grand Canyon was shut down for most of June by a fire and is now day use only. Just the threat of fires closed several trails in Colorado's Mesa Verde National Park. The body of one of 3 hikers missing at Mount Rainier National Monument in Washington has been found. 28-year-old Matthew Bunker was found at the base of Liberty Ridge after he fell into steep terrain while skiing. Bunker graduated from West Point in 2013 and served 5 years in the U.S. military. 2 other hikers have also gone missing at the park in separate incidents and have yet to be found. National Park Service officials are asking that anyone who is visiting a park at this time refrain from riskier activities in order to ease pressure on hospitals and rescue teams that are inhibited by the coronavirus. The Great American Outdoors Act has passed the United States Senate. It promises to help fund the National Park Service's $12 billion plus maintenance backlog, as well as several other public lands shovel-ready projects. And it's all paid for with oil and gas lease funds. The bill's expected to pass the House, and the president is expected to sign it. If you want to hear more about the Great American Outdoors Act, check out our recent interview on the America's National Parks podcast with Marcia Argus from Pew Charitable Trusts. Finally, July 4th, 2020 kicks off a celebration in the national parks to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 2026. The National Park Service is partnering with the U.S. Semi-Quincentennial Commission, also known as America 250, to put on events that interpret our country's heritage and continuing journey. The 6-year event will take place at National Park Service sites across the nation. That's it for this episode of News from the Parks. We'd be so grateful if you'd like the video and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow RV Miles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also join our America's National Parks Facebook group, now over 65,000 members strong, to get your national park questions answered and to see tons of amazing photos and videos. Just search America's National Parks, the group over on Facebook. And we also hope you'll listen to the America's National Parks podcast and the See America podcast for more great American destinations. The RV Miles podcast, of course, covers all the latest RV news and tips and chronicles our family's journey, my wife, Abigail, myself, and my 3 boys. You can also find us all over social media on our personal travel blog as Our Wandering Family. This video was sponsored by L.L.Bean. Follow the hashtag #BeAnOutsider and visit llbean.com to find great gear for exploring the national parks.